Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I have two exciting new releases from Lightwish I wanted to share. Lightwish has released two beautiful new wooden box palettes, I believe they are, and they have sent me both of them. I was surprised. I thought I was going to choose one and it was really hard to choose. They finally sent me both of them, so I thought it would be easiest if I just share them in a video and then kind of compare the two. Some beautiful wooden boxes. I'm going to open them and give you my first impressions, and I can't wait to share them with you. So this set has 24 full pans. It comes in a really nice gift box, and I'm just gonna say I love this artwork because I actually grew up in Colorado and in the foothills of the mountains. So this just reminds me of home in my childhood, and that is making me very happy right now. Let's see, on the back we have all of the watercolor information for all 24 colors. It's looking like they are saying there's 19 colors that are single pigment. It does list the pigment information. It also lists light fastness and the opacity. I'm excited to try it. This is a watercolor set made in China. All right, so let's open this up. Just put it over here. Oh look, okay, so it comes with a faux leather sheath is what they're calling this. And I am going to, how am I going to get this out? There we go, let me take that out of the box. So they offer two colors, it looks like, a blue and a brown. I'm really glad I got the blue. So here it is, it comes with they're calling it a leather sheath. That's definitely faux leather. So, but you don't have to be precious with it. And it says Lightwish, and then I can see barely little magnet circles. And so let's try to open this. Okay, this is pretty cool. Okay, this is different. So it has magnets that let you use this. It's a cover. You can just slide it out, it looks like. But what you can also do is use this. Okay, so let's see how this works. Oh, look, they gave us color swatch cards. I love when companies do this, and it's even on watercolor paper. And they gave us two. I can actually go swatch these because I won't have to worry about waiting to try to do it perfect. Look at this. This is really pretty. Okay, we gotta wait to get in there because I want to show this first. For me, I think I'm going to use it mostly to protect my wooden box because when I stack it, they can get scratched. But it also is functional because you can use it to paint on if you'd like by using this pulls back, and there's little button magnets. You can, I don't know if they're showing up on camera, but I can see them easily in my room, and you can angle it two ways. You can angle it like this at the lower point or at the higher point. See there? And let me show you with the clip. It does not come with a clip, so you will need to add a clip. Any kind of clip will do, and then you can use that if you'd like to paint. Okay, you can fold this part back, and then that becomes your base to put your watercolor set on. Let me zoom out so you can see that whole thing. I think I'll add some photos. The faux leather cover folds into multiple angles for comfortable painting positions. Now let's look at the beautiful box. I think that's what I'm most excited about. All right, so let's check out the watercolor box. So on the bottom, oh, I love that. Okay, so it's just flat on the bottom. There's no way to mount that to a tripod, but to me that means I can use it on my desk without worrying about it scratching my desk. They have some antique brass hinges on both sides. See there? On the front, they have little notches for your fingers, so you can easily open these. They have magnets to keep it closed. So it's really nice. Oh, look at this. This is nice. This acrylic piece is a spacer, so it keeps the pans from falling out. If you tip the box upside down, they will fall out, and ask me how I know. So you have two mixing wells, which is really nice. So here are the paints, and look at this. These are like full pans. All of my favorite travel brushes fit. The Moui brushes fit. None of my brushes that I use regularly, none of them fit. but you could put pencils in there. Okay, the Lightwish almost fits. It just bends it just the teeniest bit. I don't think these paints are sold individually, but I do want to take a few out, and I've already taken them out. I've already labeled them. I went and grabbed some of my full pans from other brands. I have Schminke, that fits. I have White Nights. I have Sennelier that I haven't opened yet. I have a, ooh, what is this? Rosa. And I have a Roman Schmal. So they all the full pans of all the brands that I currently have fit. So that's, I think a lot of people will like this box. And even though paints, these paints are listed as being premium, but they work like professional is what the listing says currently. To me, that means they're student grade, but they're nice student grade. And I can put all of my favorite full pans in here, and I think it's going to be great. There's the way the pans look. They look really nice. Okay, let's go ahead and swatch these out. First, we have Zinc White. Next we have, they're saying it's Hansa Lemon, and they've spelled it with a Z, which is really cute. Next is Yellow Medium. They're all re-wetting really nice. Next is Yellow Deep. Oh, that's a pretty color. And I think we're going to have to paint some pumpkins today because it's the end of September when I am doing this, and I'm going to do all this now, and I have a coupon code for you guys. Then I will probably go ahead and publish the video. Next is Gold Ochre. Oh, that's really pretty. That's like a quinacridone gold, and it's one of my favorite colors, so I really like that they included that. Next is Orange. These are re-wetting really nice. I can already tell from Lightwish, these are my favorite paints they've made so far. I'm not seeing a bunch of filler, and they're re-wetting nice. Okay, next is Red Light. Pretty red. And then Carmine Red. PV19 is what they're saying it is. Next is Madder Lake Red. Ooh, this looks like a quinacridone violet, but they're calling it Madder Lake Red. Next we have Violet Light. Oh, that's pretty too. Kind of looks like a Quin Purple. These paints are actually a bit better than I was expecting them to be. I was just thrilled with the box, to be honest. And I love wooden boxes, so. So that's Violet Deep. And then this is Blue. I'm trying to think of what these paints remind me of in another brand, and maybe a budget Rosa Gallery paint. Yeah, that's what the vibes they're giving. I don't know. Okay, Ultramarine Light. So my swatch chart is curling up a little bit, but it seems to be cotton. And then next we have Indigo. The Indigo is the first one that's a bit harder to re-wet. Okay, this one's reminding me of Roman Schmal paints. How it has kind of the coating on top. Wouldn't that be awesome if these are like budget Roman Schmal paints? Oh, look at that Indigo. That's pretty. They're saying PB66. It's not light fast, but it's just gorgeous. Next is Bluish Green. I love that bluish green color. Next is Emerald Green. So the Carmine Red is looking more like a Carmine Red now. When I first swatched it out, it was looking like a magenta. And then of course we've got a Phthalo Blue and an Ultramarine Light. I can already see some of the granulation happening. Indigo and Bluish Green are my two favorites so far. But I also love that they've added this, it's a quinacridone gold color. They're calling it Gold Ochre. Sadly, I can't just swatch the colors and enjoy them. In my head, I'm like, whose paint are these like? What paint are these from? For affordable paints with this beautiful wooden box, I'm pretty impressed so far. Next, they're saying Sap Green, but that doesn't look like a sap green. This looks almost like a May green. But they're calling this Sap Green. Okay, and then next we have Green Deep. It looks like it's phthalo green with black. Okay, next we have Raw Sienna. These are re-wet pretty nice. And Burnt Sienna. English Red. Nice and opaque. And then we have Burnt Umber. Hey, I don't hate all the browns so far. Usually a lot of times I don't like browns in budget sets, but these browns are even not too bad. Okay, next we have Sepia. Yeah, those the browns aren't terribly weak. And then we have Lamp Black, which I guess if there's got to be a black, I'd want to either Lamp Black or Mars Black. Wow. Okay. So I think this is cotton paper. So there's all of these swatches and what they're saying for the pigment information and light fast information. Sometimes I don't always know if they have the right pigment information or light fast information. So I want to paint now. Now let's do a little bit of color mixing. So the first thing I want to mix is this Madder Lake Red. With this bluish green, give us a nice, really nice deep violet. Let's kind of do this warm red here, and a gold ochre. Gives you a really nice deep orange. So everything you'd expect. So this does bead a little bit, so you could always take a magic eraser if you didn't want that to bead up, and that would help that. All right, so now let's unbox this. They're calling this a 36 grit empty watercolor palette box for travel. And let's take a look at this. All right. Oh, look how nice this comes boxed. So this all comes packaged really pretty, like a gift for you. It comes with some different accessories. Oh, wow. It has different parts. And then it has a brass water cup. Has a clip, and then it has the wooden watercolor palette. All right, it's made out of walnut. It's so pretty. So you have some nice sturdy hinges on the back, and I actually like that there's no hinges on the sides. In the front, you have a slot for your thumb. Open that. On the back, there's a screw hole because you're able to mount this so that you're able to attach that to a tripod. Let's go ahead and open it up. It's magnetic to keep it closed, so it's not too hard to open. Look at this. This is nice. Okay, so we have a plastic mixing area here that you could use. There's 36 wells. Now I can fill this with whichever paint I want. Also has this, it's a thick piece of acrylic and it's finished on all four sides. It's rounded and finished on all four sides. And then it has some holes in it because you attach it right there. And then you can mount it with the screws that are come here. So these little brass knobs go here. And that is if you want to use it with the clip to paint. Okay, I just had to push it and then the threads line up. Use that as a painting surface. And I'm going to put that on there. The clip is, this is very thick, so you really need a wide mouth clip if you want to use any kind of paper with that. All right, let's go ahead and open the rest up. So these other two sections, let's see, they're just attached with magnets. So you just, oh, that's really nice. So there's no screws. I actually like there's no screws on the side. So I like that they did that. They're strong magnets. So they attach that way. And then it gives you another mixing area right here. So you can mix and paint and you can have your, and then it allows you to go ahead and this on the side to tighten it. It would be ready for you to paint outside. Okay, so they've made it where you can completely customize it, but you do have to make sure and not lose this. So it has the 36 empty wells, and then you have this space here for the brass cup, and it does set, oh, they've done that better. So before, the cup stuck out too much. It made it awkward to use if you were at a table, so they have, I think they've improved that. So here it has a place where you can put all of your brushes and let's see. So if you're outside, you can put your brushes in here. Let's see if I have. I would be using my travel brush. Oh shoot, so that's what's missing from this one is they used to have the channel where your brush went. And I do actually prefer that. But because I use, if I'm going outside, I use a travel brush. And so I don't know if any of them would fit. Let's see if some of my favorites fit. Okay, this one. Let's see if this one will fit. Nope. My favorite brushes don't fit. So I will have to just set them here. I don't know, maybe it's just superstitious, but I never store them up because I'm worried about water going into the ferrule and damaging the brush. So once they're wet, I don't ever leave them upright. Am I the only one? I don't know. I hope if they make another one, they offer, instead of the brush holes, I hope they offer individual channels. I would love to be able to have channels that would allow your brush to rest laying down. Personally, that would be more helpful because Most things I'm gonna wanna lay flat. So, but maybe they can make an add-on for that. This is made so you can take it to plein air paint, which I will try. Now, honestly, this is large, and so for me personally, I know I'm gonna be using this in my studio more than outside. In another video, I will try this outside and indoors. Personally, I would just put this in my bag. So because of that hole, it does wobble just the tiniest bit on my desk. So I will probably want to put a cloth down. It's so pretty. You can definitely use this as a mixing area. So these holes are so they can accommodate the brass knobs. So I probably will leave the brass knobs attached. Then it closes with the brass knobs on there, so you don't have to worry about losing them. But the only issue is they don't, with this acrylic piece on, it doesn't close anymore. So you do have to remove this acrylic piece. The acrylic part would have to go on top, and then you will have to assemble it once you get to the area if you want to use that. I don't use loose paper when I'm plein air painting. Personally, I use either a block or I use a sketchbook. And so I won't need that acrylic piece, but they do offer it for you. I think that's most useful if you're doing studio painting. And this is very beautiful, and I can't wait to find different ways to use it. So right now, I'm excited about filling all of these wells. They are just a tiny bit dirty, so I think I will give them a quick wash, and then I will fill them and do painting with them in another video. It feels very nice. It feels very fancy. Now these two, even with my other palette, you have to take separately. They don't fold in there, so you have to take these separate. So what I learned to do is just leave these in my bag. This is made for you to use for plein air painting, but I love these wooden box sets. I think they're pretty, and once I pour all these pans, I just use it around my house. I use it in my studio, but also I take it to the living room and everything. So this will be really nice for me. So just for size reference, in case you did purchase the Lightwish Walnut palette from my previous video, there's the size. I'll turn it this way too. It's a little less compact. There's the size reference, and I really liked it. And then this one is this size. So this is for size reference. You guys will have to let me know which one you think you like best. Selling them empty is great because then you can choose the paints that your favorite colors and your favorite brands in there. But I'm very thankful to have these, and I think they're beautiful. This one, I like the smaller compact size. I can't use this on camera very much because it's too big to always be in the way, and it's always reflecting my studio lights. So that's a me problem. If you're not a YouTuber, it's probably not going to be an issue. I want a top layer for this that's magnetic without the hinges that I can just put my own ceramic palette in. So I hope they offer us that one time. They're both beautiful. They're both beautiful and made out of walnuts. So I, of course, am thrilled to have both of these. So I'll be using these more. I've already used this one, so I already know I love it. I do really like the compact size of this and that it accommodates full pans. And so this is the new one that I need to use to see how much I love that. This one's so pretty. So I can't wait to try this one. So in a separate video, I'll be filling these and then using these plein air painting. I usually paint things like animals. Here's a red panda that I painted, and that video is up. And I paint it, and then I go in with fine detail with gouache or acrylic. Actually, this was acrylic markers. Today we're going to paint with this set and test out these paints. All right, so today I wanted to paint a pumpkin. I do want to wet this really well. And to me, that is the fun of using budget supplies, is if I was using any of my precious artist grade, which are going to be better, I would wait, because I would wait until I thought I could do it perfect. Because that's the insane thing I still do. I love it. I know it's the best, but I wait because I don't want to waste anything. So I'm going to actually go in with a lemon yellow just in a few areas and kind of let that. While that's wet, and then over here I want to start going in with a little bit of this golden yellow. And it's okay if I go outside the lines because that's going to be a shadow. So I'm just going to start basically getting rid of the white of the paper. I started painting these pumpkins, which I think I will finish. I wanted to add the masking fluid. I should have done that from the beginning. So I'm going to be finishing painting with this later. This was really fun and I really enjoyed the paints. So I painted this pretty quick, and then what I'll do is I'll go on top with colored pencils, and yeah, that's why I think I'm a mixed media person, because I just like to have fun, and then when I'm not having fun, I switch mediums and I go and fix it with colored pencils or gouache or whatever, and I'm just doing this for fun. So I really did enjoy these. I knew I left places that I don't worry about it being perfect because I wanted to use my Derwent drawing pencils. So I have never done a painting like this before. I am not a landscape painter, but I don't want to be put in one box. So I wanted to practice doing backgrounds and get out of my comfort zone. So that's the perfect use to me to use budget paints for. But what I do is I paint this once using my budget set of paints, and then I go back and I paint it again using my artist grade. I love the wooden box by far the most, and they're not going to probably sell these paints open stock, but that's okay because you can easily get a full pan of your favorite and refill it that way is what I would do. But also that's a good way to try the artist brand. Get this and then step up to the artist grade. That will tell you the colors you actually need. The indigo is still stunning to me. Not claiming these are artist grade, they're saying they're premium paints with professional results, and I like that they're not lying and saying they're artist grade, but they have some good disbursement. I went ahead and labeled mine because this acrylic plate is a spacer. You want to make sure and keep it there or they're all going to fall out. I will say, for me, you can tell I'm going to need the indigo and then the green. I use those colors the most, but it's fall, so I'm definitely going to be using all those. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. I was going to mention that, like, use a paper towel or something to clean this after today because I'm going to be nervous about getting any water seeping in there. I'm just going to use a ceramic palette. What I wish they would make is a wooden box almost like this, but I want a brush to be able to fit, and then I just want basically another one of these to put on top, and I want a ceramic palette to be able to put a ceramic palette in there, so that way I can just paint like that. I want a jewelry box for my paints. That's what I want. Can somebody please make that? But I don't want to spend $200 for it, okay? Because I'm just not going to do that. But they are from Lightwish. I've tried a few of their different watercolors before, and these are the only paints that I would use a second time. I didn't really enjoy the other paints. That's why you have not seen them on my channel, because I'm trying not to promote junk. That doesn't mean you should buy everything that I show. I love trying all the things, and nobody needs near the amount of paints that I have, but I also get a lot of products sent to me, so there's that. But also, even if I wasn't, I'm very curious and I want to try all the things. I kind of make a game out of that. I kind of make a game out of how many things I can try. And I don't know if I should, but I do. So when I finished painting, I tore it off and it didn't look quite finished, so I think I overworked it. So after my camera, the battery died, which is going to die again in a minute, I went ahead and just added more splatters because I really wanted fall, and I added some nice gold, try to get some gold splatters, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much to Lightwish for sending me these beautiful boxes. I'm going to enjoy both of them. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.